coming straight to my presentation, I was asked to share the learnings from implementation of MCA21, an e-governance project implemented by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. I've also sneaked in 2 slides in it, which just bring out the interface as far as G to B and B to G part is concerned, and then I take on to the learnings. Just to give you a brief background, that Ministry of Corporate Affairs, earlier known as Ministry of Company Affairs, and prior to that a Department of Company Affairs, primarily administers the Companies Act 1956, apart from a number of other legislations pertaining to the professional institutes, MRTPC, now Competition Commission Act, and those parts. In its prime responsibility of administration of the Companies Act, the ministry has 20 registries set up throughout the country. We have more than 8 lakh companies registered on these registries, and till about a year and a half back, most of the processes were in the manual mode. In India, we have a peak filing season that is experienced when all the companies are required to file their statutory annual returns, that is, annual return and balance sheets. And during the months of September, October, and November, the kind of peaks which we used to have, and each company representative or professional coming up with 3 copies of each of the documents and how they would be stored, was a pain by itself. Inspection of public documents was the worst scenario. All this led to conceptualization of a holistic service delivery project, which is known as MCA21. The acronym stands for Preparedness of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to meet the expectations of its stakeholders for the 21st century. That is how the acronym MCA21 comes about. The vision of the project is to meet the stakeholder aspirations. It is one of the mission mode projects under the National E-Governance Plan. Also, we have the credit, thanks to the DIT and our colleagues, particular reference to Dr. Sarnath sitting here, their support, that we can say that the program has been implemented and it is one of the successful programs, so we claim, as having been implemented by the Government of India. The transformation is intended to bring seamlessly the Indian economy and the aspirations of the stakeholders in a globalized economy context, and it supports that business expectation. The last sentence here, the judicious blend of facilitation and compliance, we look at it that as far as delivery of various services is concerned, that those are facilitated in a painless manner, but simultaneously the ministry is able to act effectively as a regulator in order to seek the compliance regime in its place. Beneficial to the businesses for doing business simplified, public, all disclosures, online access to the corporate data, banks and FIs, very easy registration and verification of charges before they advance any loans to the corporates, government, effective compliance management, introduction of speed and transparency in delivery of services. The project status, it was, this program has been, as I spoke right in the beginning, it's a holistic service delivery project. And this has been implemented in partnership with the Tata Consultancy Services CMC Consortium. TCS was selected as the operator through a competitive bidding process, and the responsibility with the operator goes right from the implementation initially, and thereafter operations to be sustained over a period of 6 years. And now we have already entered the implementation, the operations phase, with small deliverables to be completed as far as completion of the implementation part is concerned. Contract was signed on 1st of March 2005. The first pilot was rolled out in Coimbatore, which is one of the very small registries, on 18th of February 2006. And increasingly in a phased manner, by 30th July 2006, the program had been rolled out at all the registries, which subsequently led to mandating of e-filing from 16th of September 2006. As a result, today, no company, no corporate can submit its requests in physical form, which means all transactions are online. And 17th of January, the project was provisionally certified to have been completed. Provisionally because there were a few deliverables which really do not have an impact on the stakeholder delivery of services. I would take it here that to what extent, these numbers would show the business has transacted with the government. Average portal hits per day, 1.7 million. Peak portal hits on 29th of November 2006 was 6.5 million or 65 lakh. Maximum number of documents filed on a single day, again on 29th of November, more than 36,000 documents. And let me share with you that the size of each of these documents, which is balance sheet and annual return, is between 2 to 3 MB. Apart from the e-form, the attachment which comes along with it. Total number of documents filed till date online is 23.77 lakh or 2.3 million. Companies registered online, 63,000. A concept was introduced in this program where all the directors on the companies must have an identity established. So a concept of director identification number was issued. We had a lot of resistance from people when this concept was introduced because they said, how many numbers a person is going to have in this country? You have PAN, you have voter ID, you have now DIN. But we had problems because PAN was not in the public domain and PAN is not mandatory for the foreign directors. Therefore, we had to come out with a unique ID which was called as director identification number. And 5.83 lakh director identification numbers, these have been issued for the directors. Company records viewed online. Now this itself I can share with you that there is a statutory fee of 50 rupees. You are sitting in the comfort of your office, your home, and you can view the documents which are available in the public domain by paying a statutory fee of 50 rupees online. Something on which a person was spending more than 1,000 rupees per inspection of documents earlier. Because they would be sending somebody, he would be paying for his fare, his day job, apart from the time cost. And he would be made available the file for inspection for not more than 15 minutes. The number of balance sheets filed 3.65 lakh and annual returns filed 3.65 lakh. I have omitted one slide for paucity of time. That last year prior to this, the number of balance sheets filed was only 2.11 lakh. So to the extent of improvement in compliance management is brought out by these numbers. Number of DIN 3, which is required to be filed by each company containing the details of all the directors, have been filed as 2.5 lakh. And the e-filing through the VFO now, 92% of the documents are being filed from the virtual offices by all the stakeholders, with only 8% going to our facilitation centers for taking those help. As a matter of fact, out of 52 facilitation centers which the ministry set up, about 50% of those don't see a visitor days on end. We are perturbed on that account, but we are happier that was the object, that everybody is able to avail of this service from the virtual office. The system requires, it gives the facility of payment of statutory fees both in the online mode using credit card and internet banking, as well as in the offline mode, which is the traditional system, where the system generates a pre-filled challan. The stakeholder takes a printout of it, goes to one of the authorized bank branches and remits the payment there. We have already reached a level of about 45% of the transactions now being received online, and taken a decision only 2 days back that from 1st of January 2008, all fees up to a limit of about 1 lakh of rupees will be received only online. That 1 lakh limit is being prescribed, and that will be only in